Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to vote in the poll and like and subscribe to talk to your pets. Maybe. Today we're building Usagi Tsukino, also known as Sailor Moon. She might not be bright, or coordinated, or emotionally stable, or even pleasant to be around in general. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need a magical girl transformation. Next, we'll grab a tiara so we can throw it at people. And finally, we'll get some healing escalation. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just make sure to keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Charisma is the top spot here. Usagi might be a bit annoying, but eventually that becomes endearing and she becomes a very capable leader. Dexterity next. Again, she might be clumsy, but she yeets that tiara with some serious finesse. Wisdom after that, so you can sense all the evils that try to disguise themselves in your world. Constitution will follow. Fighting evil is easier when you're not dead. Strength is a little on the lower end, but she's not a weakling, so we'll dump intelligence because school is not her strong suit. We do too many variant humans here, and Sailor Moon is the reincarnation of a moon princess, so I'll call her a moon elf, which is just a high elf with extra steps. You get +2 dexterity and +1 intelligence. 9 is still a negative modifier, so don't worry, you're still dumb. Your Fey ancestry gives you advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and prevents you from falling asleep by magical means. You have keen senses, giving you the perception skill for free. In fact, it's so keen you also have 60 feet of dark vision. You have trance, which means you only have to meditate for 4 hours for a long rest, which is great for you as you'll be fighting evil by the moonlight and winning love by the daylight, which really doesn't leave you much time for a REM cycle. You get a free cantrip from the wizard list, but since your intelligence is terrible, just grab light for 10 feet of bright light that will help your non-moon princess friends see in the dark. Speaking of moon princess, the noble background gives you history and persuasion, but swap history for acrobatics. It's more up your alley than studying. We'll kick things off as a bard. First level bards get 3 skills of their choice. Finish your list with athletics, insight, and persuasion. You can inspire your fellow sailor scouts with bardic inspiration. These are d6s that you can give out as a bonus action to allies to add to a d20 roll. Now you've got an amount of these equal to your charisma modifier, so we'll get that higher quickly. For your cantrips, Vicious Mockery lets you deal some damage with a catchphrase, dealing 1d4 psychic damage to creatures that fail a wisdom save of 8 plus your proficiency bonus and your charisma modifier. In the name of the moon, I punish you. 1d4 psychic damage. Boom. Thunderclap forces constitution save on creatures within 5 feet of you, dealing 1d6 thunder damage to those that fail. Cry harder. Seriously, it actually hurts people. Now, if you actually want to cry harder, the spell Thunder Wave forces a constitution save on creatures in a 15-foot cube in front of you, dealing 2d8 thunder damage and pushing them 10 feet away if they fail. They take half damage if they succeed the save and they aren't pushed. Disguise Self lets you change your appearance. People can see through this disguise with an investigation check against your spell save, though if your disguise is as simple as changing into a sailor outfit, the DM might make it a little lower. Cure Wounds is our first step towards moon healing escalation, healing 1d8 plus your charisma modifier. Finally, Speak with Animals lets you speak with animals for 10 minutes so you and Luna can have a nice conversation. Second level bards get Jack of all trades, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to any skill you don't have proficiency with, so you can fill in any gaps the team might be missing. Song of Rest lets your party heal an extra d6 on short rests. Not totally sure what the justification is, maybe she's a good singer. For your spell at this level, Heroism gives a creature immunity to being frightened, and they get temporary HP equal to your charisma modifier at the start of each of their turns, so you can inspire your fellow scouts to be as brave as you are, or make yourself braver. That's been an issue in the past. Third level bards get expertise and 2 skills of their choice, doubling your proficiency bonus with them. I'd go for insight and persuasion. You also get to choose a bardic college. The College of Lore lets you grab 3 more skills. I'll grab Arcana, Animal Handling, and Medicine. You also get cutting words, letting you use your bardic inspiration to reduce a d20 roll of a creature you can see within 60 feet, so you can distract your enemies and keep your allies safe. For your spells, second level spells are an option now. Shatter deals 3d8 thunder damage to creatures in a 30-foot radius that fail a constitution save, half damage to those that succeed for even more tier power. Fourth level bards get an ability score improvement or a feat, and we're going to stick with ability score improvements for now. Bump your charisma and your wisdom. Unless those are both even numbers, then just go for charisma. For your spell at this level, Enhance Ability gives you or a different sailor scout advantage on a type of ability check of your choice. If you choose Constitution, they also get 2d6 temporary HP. If you choose Strength, their carrying capacity doubles, and if you choose Dexterity, they can avoid damage from falling from heights of 20 or less. Bouncing over to Monk now, first level monks get Unarmored Defense, making your AC 10 plus your Dexterity and your Wisdom modifier. Sailor outfit isn't going to be blocking any damage. You also get Martial Arts, letting you deal 1d4 with your unarmed attacks using your Dexterity modifier, and you can make an unarmed attack as a bonus action after making the attack action. Or you can use a Monk weapon, which is any simple weapon without a heavy or two-handed property that you reflavor to be something monkier. A light hammer deals 1d4 bludgeoning damage and can be thrown 20 feet or 40 feet with disadvantage. Call it a tiara and chuck it at someone. Second level monks get unarmored movement, making you faster when you're not wearing armor. This will will increase as you level up in Monk. You also get key points that you can spend on things like a Flurry of Blows, letting you make 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action instead of 1. Patient Defense lets you dodge as a bonus action, giving your enemy disadvantage on hitting you and advantage on dexterity saves to you. Or Step of the Wind lets you dash or disengage as a bonus action with doubled jump distance. This girl's fast. 3rd level monks can deflect missiles, reducing damage from ranged attacks by 1d10 plus your monk level and your dexterity modifier. If you drop that to 0, you can toss it back as a key point, and it's like a monk weapon. You can also choose a monastic tradition, and Way of the Kensei should be called Way of the Magical Girl Tiara. You get to choose 2 weapons that are Kensei weapons, which get special abilities from this class. Kensei Shot lets you add 1d4 extra damage to a ranged Kensei weapon as a bonus action, basically letting you use your martial arts at a range. Most importantly though, you get Way of the Brush for calligraphy proficiency, which is the best thing in Dungeons & Dragons. If you're not playing D&D for intense inky penmanship, I don't know what you're doing. 4th level monks get Slow Fall, letting you reduce fall damage by 5 times your monk level as a reaction to float gently to the ground. You also get an ability score improvement or feat, and will take the Inspiring Leader feat at this level, letting you give 6 friendly creatures temporary HP equal to your total level and charisma modifier, so you can get all the Sailor Scouts fighting their hardest. 5th level monks get Stunning Strike, letting you spend a key point to force a Constitution save equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus and wisdom modifier on a creature you hit with a melee attack, stunning them if they fail until the end of your next turn. You also get an extra attack, letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 as your action, so maybe you don't have to fight evil all night. Speaking of, your unarmed strikes and monk weapons are now dealing 1d6. 6th level monks get key empowered strikes, making your unarmed attacks magical, and Kensei monks get magical Kensei weapons, so your tiara now counts as magical as well. You also get Deft Strike, letting you add your monk die to the damage of 1 attack per round with your Kensei weapon to deal a little more damage with each toss. We're going to finish off our bard levels here really quick. 5th level bards get Font of Inspiration, letting you recover inspiration die on a short rest instead of a long one. Those inspiration die are also now d8, so you can cheer your party on a little bit harder. For your 3rd level spell, Dispel Magic removes a magical effect from a spell of 3rd level or lower automatically from an object or a person. You can remove higher level effects with a charisma check with a DC of 10 plus the spell's level that you're canceling. You can use this on an enemy that's powered up, or to help an ally being negatively affected by some Space Witch's spell. Last level of bard here, you get Counter Charm, letting you help your allies by giving them advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened within 30 feet of you. More importantly though, as a lore bard, you get additional magical secrets, letting you grab 2 spells from other classes. Moonbeam is a 2nd level druid spell that creates a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of light. It forces Constitution saves on creatures inside, dealing 2d10 radiant damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. This is great for dealing with shapeshifters in particular, as they have disadvantage on these saves. Mass Healing Word from the cleric list heals up to 6 creatures in a 60-foot range, 1d4 plus your charisma modifier as a bonus action. Healing acceleration for the masses, it's great. Our 3rd and final multi-class will be Sorcerer, specifically a Divine Soul Sorcerer, to give us access to some cleric spells while still using charisma as the casting modifier. You're favored by the gods as a moon princess, giving you 2d4 to add to 1 failed saving throw or attack roll once per day, which is great because you're clumsy. You get some cantrips. Guidance gives a creature of your choice 1d4 for ability checks. Resistance does the same for saving throws. Sacred Flame forces a dexterity saving throw on a creature, dealing 3d8 radiant damage to them if they fail, and Thaumaturgy lets you triple the volume of your voice for a minute, and some other effects, but you're probably just going to use this to yell really loud. If you don't want to spend a 3rd level slot for a bonus action healing, get Healing Word from the 1st level for 1d4 plus your charisma modifier in sweet bonus action healing. Mage Armor buffs your AC a bit by making it 13 plus your dexterity modifier, so 16 instead of the unarmored defense 15 from Monk. Keep in mind we're multi-classing spellcasters here, so check page 165 of the player's handbook to figure out how many spell slots you have at any given level. 2nd level sorcerers get a Font of Magic with sorcery points that let you recover spell slots. For this level spell, Guiding Bolt fires a bolt of radiant moonlight that deals 4d6 radiant damage on a hit and gives the next person to attack the target advantage on their hit. Technically the book just says light, not moonlight, but obviously that's what it meant. 3rd level sorcerers get Meta Magic, letting you augment your spells with sorcery points in unique ways. Careful Spell lets you choose a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier to automatically succeed saving throws on your spells. Usagi wouldn't want to hit her friends on accident. Quicken Spell lets you cast a spell that would normally take an action as a bonus action with 2 sorcery points, so you can still use your action to attack with all those monk skills. For this level spell, Lesser Restoration lets you remove 1 disease or effect of blindness, deafness, paralyzation, or poison. Healing isn't always hit points. 4th level level sorcerers get an ability score improvement, bump that charisma for better spells and leadership abilities. The aid spell stacks well with inspiring leader, giving up to 3 creatures 5 temporary hit points for 8 hours. Might be a little awkward picking 3 of your favorite scouts, but this isn't concentration, so if you don't want to pick, technically you don't have to. 5th level sorcerers can learn 3rd level spells. Remove curse removes a curse from a creature or an object, another form of moon healing escalation. 6th level Divine Soul sorcerers get empowered healing, letting you spend a sorcery point to reroll healing die for a creature within 5 feet of you. It's basically free meta magic that only Divine Souls can use. Though I guess other sorcerers can't learn healing spells, so it'd be a really bad option for them. For this level spell, Daylight creates a 60-foot radius of bright light that dispels any darkness created by a spell of 3rd level or lower. It's also great for winning love next to. 7th level sorcerers can learn 4th level spells. Death Ward prevents a creature of your choice from dropping below 1 HP the first time they would, so people don't have to die because that would be really sad. Capstone is 8th level of sorcerer for an ability score improvement, so we can finally cap our charisma. For our last spell, Sickening Radiance creates a 30-foot sphere of light that deals 4d10 radiant damage to creatures that fail a constitution saving throw inside. It also gives them 1 level of exhaustion, and it lasts for up to 10 minutes depending on your concentration. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you're the best leader a scout could ask for, with inspiration, healing, and extra HP to give out like crazy. You also have a lot of great radiant damage, one of the best types in the game. Finally, you've got a huge list of skills and +3 to everything you're not proficient with thanks to Jack of all trades, making you a pretty good role player. For weaknesses, this build is kinda all over the place. The monk levels don't really fit in super well, forcing you to focus on dex and wisdom instead of constitution like a good caster should. Speaking of low constitution, your HP is low, with only a little over 100 and low AC, making you very vulnerable to dying. Finally, mixing casters like this prevents you from getting higher level spells, and while you can scale the lower ones up with the slots you have, they're never going to be as good as a spell from that actual level. But for all the dunking I've done on Usagi in this video, she's a great friend who will stick by your side no matter what. With loyalty and cosmic power, you'll be an asset to any team. Any team that will hold the bad guys off while you heal them, at least.